All right, take 5,000 and 3,000 exaggeration. Just kidding. God needs you to stand up. And what do I mean by that? I mean that God has been asking you to do something, and whether it's out of fear, rebellion, or any other reason, maybe you think things aren't falling into place yet, or you're too weak, maybe even like you're thinking that you're not good enough. It's our own lack of faith that's stopping us from walking in the will of God. And that looks different for each of us. And I'm guilty of it too. God has been asking me to rise up and do things, and I just haven't done them because I feel like I'll never be happy. In my head, I know that that's a lie, but I need to start believing it in my heart, because once you believe it in your heart is when God can start opening the doors for you. And whatever you're stuck in, whatever sin it is, or whatever you're not reaching out and grasping, whatever opportunity you're not reaching out and grasping, you're not believing something in your heart, and that's what's stopping you. So God needs us to stand up, not just you, but me too. And my goal here is to make a community that can uplift each other. I'm not a pastor, I'm not a priest, I'm not a spiritual leader, but I feel like lately God's been calling a lot of Christians to arms lately, because there's a spiritual war going on. And I know, like, if you've been in the faith for a long time, you know what spiritual warfare is, but this is a little bit different. I'm talking about a war on the minds of Christians, a war that's keeping us from obtaining our blessings, because we are so doubtful in our minds, we're so spiritually stunted, we don't truly believe that God can move things in our lives. We don't believe that we can move the mountains in our lives. Even if we don't completely know what God's will is for our life, or what God's future for our lives is. Like, what am I going to look like 10 years down the road? Am I going to have this house? Am I going to have this car? We get so caught up on the what ifs. But if I think back on my life, 10 years ago, I would never have guessed that this is where I'd be. And I would never have guessed that I would have grown this much. And that's all thanks to God. And I think we can use that as evidence that God always has us. Even though our life may not turn out how we envisioned it, or how maybe even how we wanted it, we're always going to be okay. Oftentimes we're happier than we'd have been if we'd achieved what we wanted to initially, because we don't always know what's best for us. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you, and that's what I feel like a lot of other Christians need to instill in our hearts, is that God only wants what's best for us. God's not out there to hurt us. He's out there to grow us. He's in our lives to grow us and to grow us closer to Him. And if we grow closer to Him, there's nothing wrong about that. You're not losing anything. You're not risking anything by investing more love into God, or more time into your relationship with God. And that's the only way that we can break down those barriers in our minds and in our hearts to finally achieve what we want to achieve, whether it's a dream you have or a sin you're trying to conquer. We need to stand firm. We need to plant our feet in our faith with God. And a lot of times just do it, right? And I know it's easier said than done, because I struggle with it myself, but that's my goal, is to build a community of people that feel the call and want to take that stand, but they just feel alone, or they don't feel strong enough, because I'm one of them. So I'm trying to find people that are like that as well, so that we can strengthen each other. Iron sharpens iron. So that being said, my name's Austin. God bless you. And don't give up. Stand firm in the faith. I love you. God bless.